A little advice. A little advice. Come on, yeah. Just a little advice. Just a little advice with Christine Little. Check it out.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Little Advice Podcast. Podcast where me, comedian Christine Little, gives a little advice to one of my guests. It's only a little advice because I only have a little degree. I only have a BA in psychology. I'm not licensed to do this, to give people advice. But I do read a lot of self-help books, so I believe that I can do it. I mean, I may not take all the advice in the books, but I know what people should be doing. I know what needs to be done in my mind. Anyway, this is episode number 13 with a very funny comedian, Atlanta-based comedian, writer, producer, Jen O'Neill Smith. She's been in so many comedy festivals, I just can't even. Limestone Comedy Festival, Laughing Skull, Accidental, Women in Comedy Festival, Laugh Your Asheville, Off, Memphis, and the list goes on. There's too many to name them all. But we are talking about something very important. We're talking about taking on too much and what is really going on behind taking on all too much and how to practice self-care, which can be really difficult. It's easy to feel guilty about taking care of yourself. But this is a really interesting talk. We get to the bottom of some stuff about why people take on so much. And podcast related, have you joined the Facebook group yet? Go over to the Facebook group. Let's talk about this. How do you practice self-care? Let me know. I eat ice cream. I don't think that's good self-care, so I could love to hear your tips on that. And I also made a Little Advice Podcast Facebook page if you want to like that. And if you want to see my comedy in person, I'll be at Rampart Casino on November 1st, Thursday, in Las Vegas. Come over, say hey. I'll be in the Addison Lounge. And again, please rate, subscribe, leave a review, share with someone who needs self-care. If you dare, do you listen to John Mayer? And I want to give a shout out to my girl, Kristen Chamberlain. She's hooking it up with the financial advice. She's helping Iffy Wadiway even more, and I appreciate that. If you want help from her, like for free, she'll just analyze your finances for you. Her email is Kristen, Kristen.chamberlain@nm.com. Maybe I'll post that in the Facebook group. I think I did, but I'll post it again. And with no further ado, here is episode number 13 with comedian Jen O'Neill Smith. Thank you so much for listening to A Little Advice. Hi guys, I'm here with Jen O'Neill Smith.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty tired.
We're both waking up.
I thought you woke up at like 7 a.m.
I do, but I don't my eyes don't open until like 1:30.
Wait, so you just get up and you're just...
I just get up like a zombie and I do all the things that I need to do. I get the kids off to school. I walk my dog for an hour.
For an hour?
Yeah, I have to or he'll like ruin my house. He's got problems.
So your dog is like blackmailing you?
Yeah.
Or is that what that would be?
Dog man?
Well, would
Yeah.
it be blackmail? Like do this or I'll ruin... Is that what blackmail is?
Kind of. I think we just got like a shitty dog. And if he doesn't walk for an hour every day, he's super anxious and aggressive and tears things up.
So you have to do it?
Oh, well, I like it. I feel like I'm the same. If I don't walk for an hour in silence every morning, then I'll tear some shit up.
So that's like your form of meditation?
Yeah, it is. I have to have like my silence, just walking around. But I really, truly don't even feel like I'm awake until I get back. Like
how do you get up? How do you get out of the bed?
You just have to when there's kids that need to eat food.
Oh, I don't have those.
Yeah, and you have to get them off to school.
Oh,
and
it's
all
Monday.
That stuff. Yeah, it's Monday morning.
Oh, I lived the life of a childless person. I struggled to get out of bed this morning, and you helped me out. texts me. She's like, where is it again? And I told her, because I was waking up in between snoozes, as I do. And then I was like, I can't get out of bed. And she's like, get out of the bed, I'm at your door. And I heard some knocking. I was like, oh my God. So I go to the door, and no one was there. I'm like, hello. And then I go back to my phone by the bed, and you're like, no, don't get up. I was just kidding. Did you know that I got up?
No, but I feel like I waited a couple of beats because I thought that, like, it would take, before I said just kidding, like, you would be like, oh, fuck. And then I would be like, just kidding. And you would go back to bed.
You're lucky usually I would have just fallen back asleep without looking at the phone, and then I would have been like, whatever happens between me getting up and...
I know.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Sorry, but I'm glad that it got you up.
Like, I don't know what would have happened.
Help?
It did. I got up.
Good.
But then I got back in the bed and started playing on my phone for a while, and I'm glad that you were a little late, because...
This could be a new wake-up call service where I just text people that I'm standing outside their door and to come let me in.
But they gotta have that, like, oh my God, you know.
That panic.
Yeah. Because getting up is the hardest part. That's the hardest part. Anyway, so what's your problem?
I think my problem is that I take on too much. I overbook my calendar. Not necessarily with comedy shows, but just with...
Dog walkings for hours.
Just life. Yeah, just saying yes to everything, and, like, you know, at any given time, I'm probably pet sitting 4 different people's.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, but I mean, or, like, you know, people, you know, always, tend to ask me for favors or help with things, and, you know, like, I just remembered that I forgot to email a friend of a friend that needs help with an eviction, because I also am a property manager, and so I was like, yeah, I can help your friend of a friend that I've never met with an eviction. Like, I just don't know how to say no to things.
So you know that you don't want to do it.
Well, yeah, I know that I don't, no, it's not that I don't. I like to help people.
You know that you're overextended.
Yeah, I know that I'm overextending myself all the time. And so I don't know how to just, like, be still. I don't know how to be still. Even if I don't have anything to do that day, I tend to, like, make all kinds of, like, crazy plans for, like, well, then let's go to a carnival, and then when we get back, I'll make, you know, a lasagna.
Wow.
That's what I did yesterday. That's why I'm like...
You went to a carnival and made lasagna? That's more than I do in a month.
So it was like, I had the whole day. Well, I had a show last night, but I had the whole day, and it was just like, me and my daughter and my sister-in-law came down with my niece because my husband and son were at the soccer game, and I was just like, let's pack this nice, peaceful day full of things, minute to minute to minute to minute. Wow. And then I'll rush out the door and go and do a show. Like, I don't know how to just sit still.
So what happens if you do sit still? When's the last time that you did have an opportunity where you just didn't have anything on your plate? Do you get sick a lot?
I actually don't really get sick. I pretend, when I am sick, I pretend that I'm not. I just power through it. God. It's mind over matter. I just keep going. Like, even when I do get sick, if and when, like, usually, like, once a year, that's the most... like, it just makes me feel so bad. Not the sickness, but, like, that helpless feeling of, like, just laying in bed and I can't go. If I hear, like, a child in the other room needs something or whatever, not knowing that I can't be near them and help whatever they need, it's like, it kills me. So I just, like, pretend that I'm not sick most of the time because I hate it. So, I don't know.
So would you think it's more of a thing where you want to be needed, or you like it so much it's just like, oh, I have to do this all the time? Or
that's a good question. I mean, I don't know, I think I like to take care of people, and I like being needed, but I also have a problem with, like, learning to shut my brain off, and so it helps to stay busy all the time.
Okay, so this is what it's about.
I think so, but I also I love like taking care of people and being helpful and whatever.
Yeah, that's a pretty rewarding feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I just got finished. This is a perfect example. We just got finished producing the Red Clay Comedy Festival, which was here in Atlanta, and it was awesome.
Here, I'm gonna scoot this closer to you a little bit just to make sure.
Sorry
if there's noise, podcast people. Okay, go ahead.
So I produced that with Mike Albanese and Gilbert Lowen, and it was fun, and we had a great time, and we were super, super busy. And for the last month, all three of us didn't even sleep. We were just working our asses off, and then
you were in heaven.
Yeah, and then the 2 days before the festival, one of our food sponsors dropped out or did something happen where we were like, oh my gosh, we have to feed 75 people now on Saturday, smack in the middle of the festival, and I was like, I'll make tacos. And then the next thing I know, I'm buying all these it's right in the middle of me producing this huge festival. I go and buy all these groceries and get up, go to bed at 1 a.m. and then wake up at 5 a.m. to start cooking tacos for 75 people. I don't know, I'm just why I took that on. I mean, it was fine and everybody...
Was that your
everybody liked the tacos?
Your go-to idea was to do that instead of finding another sponsor?
Yeah, my idea was just I'll do it.
And everyone was like, okay, Jen, I'll do it.
Yeah. And so, and then, but anyway, so the festival was crazy fun and we had the best time ever, but it was exhausting. And I told my husband, I was like, you know what? After Red Clay ends, I'm going to take the whole month of October off. I'm not going to take any shows. I'm just going to regroup.
How was that?
And not, I know. And I'm just going to not do anything. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go to my computer and text Travis and message Travis and Ian, who are other, Ian Aber, Travis Jones. I run another show with them. They're great. And I was like, I'm going to tell them I'm out for October. Do it without me. And the second I sit down, I get a message from Ramon Rivas. It was like, hey, do you want to do a feature for me? And I was like, yes, I do. And and so then I said yes to that. And then I was like, well, if I'm doing that show, I'll do every other show for the month of October.
Wow.
So my vacation month has turned into or my break month has turned into just another crazy busy month.
How does it feel to not keep that promise to yourself and to your husband?
I think that it didn't matter to him because he just knew that wasn't going to happen. I don't think he ever was like, that'll be great.
What about you? How did that feel to you?
I don't regret taking on all of the shows and stuff because I enjoy it and I like doing it. So I think...
Did you feel any type of way of saying, I'm going to do this, and then you did something else?
No, I don't know. I guess I just kind of looked at it as and maybe this is not a healthy way to think about things, or maybe it is. I don't know, but I like to think that things happen for a reason, and it's the universe is sending me these opportunities. So I feel like I need to take them. Do you feel follow them because I feel like that's just the path that I'm supposed to be on. If something comes my way, then I need to say yes to it because I feel like this is what's opening up to me, so I better see what this is about.
Do you feel like that about every opportunity? Oh, wait, opportunity?
Opportunity.
In quotation marks?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, even shows that I, cringe at the idea of doing, hey, do you want to come drive 45 minutes to this dive bar and whatever, part of me feels in the back of my head that's maybe I should do it because there who knows who might be there, what's happening, who I'm gonna meet, who I'm gonna whatever.
So where does this belief come from?
I don't know. Am I a Buddhist?
Did you
what am I? Jewish or something?
Did you ever miss out on an opportunity or something and then you're never again?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, there have been times that I've missed out on things and yeah, maybe I have FOMO. Maybe that's it.
FOMO is real.
Dude, were you at there was a show in New Orleans at Hell Yes Fest a few years ago, and I know Sophia and Valerie were there. Were you there too?
No.
Oh. Well, there was a show that, it was like the last show of the festival, and usually the last shows of festivals on like that late Sunday night are not great. And I made the mistake of thinking this could be a family vacation, and I brought my kids with me, and they both ended up getting violently ill.
Ooh, how old are your kids?
At the time, they're 5 and 8 now, but I think that they were maybe 4 and 6 at the time. And so I spent the whole vacation in the Airbnb taking care of them, and then I would do shows at night.
What a dream.
It was so fun. And then so we were like, you know what, we should probably just forget that last show. Let's just drive back early. Let's get these kids home. Nothing ever happens on that last Sunday night show, whatever. And then that show, as soon as I got back home, I like looked at my phone, and there's all these pictures of like, and Sophia was on that show, but there was all these pictures of all the girls, because it was a women-only show, and all of them hanging out with Sarah Silverman and partying all night long, having a great time. And I love Sarah Silverman, and I was so she's one of my idols, and I was just like, I can't believe I missed. I was supposed to be there at that show, and now I'm like driving home with 2 pukey kids.
Oh my god.
But
okay, yeah.
I needed to get them home. It's like little things like that. There was another show that we were leaving to go to a family vacation, and I was supposed to have a show the night before we left, and my husband was like, "Could we really just leave the night before so you don't have to, can you cancel that show, because I really just want to get a head start." And so I canceled it, and then and all we did was just drive through the night. It's not like we got there and it didn't mean anything. We just went straight to bed. But then when I looked at Facebook, Instagram, whatever, like Hugh Jackman was there, and everybody was like high-fiving with Hugh Jackman.
Damn.
Oh my, it's like those little things, you just never know.
So it's like you're taking on everything. You're like, I'm not missing. Who's your next favorite celebrity?
Yeah.
I'm not missing this person.
Oh,
not
man.
missing Beyonce at the next show.
Oh my god, yeah, like Beyonce could be there. Then what? If I missed it, I would
So
just
it sounds like you believe that you are, by not taking on certain things, you're missing opportunities.
that.
What about
too.
what about the cooking thing for the festival? Was that an opportunity that you would have missed out on if you didn't take that on with the cooking all the food?
No, I think that was just my I'm half Italian. I grew up with my Italian family, and I think it's just kind of like a thing that I just love to feed people. And so that, I think I just jumped on that opportunity. I was like, oh, I totally forgot another part of that element was that in the middle of the festival, we happened to be renovating our kitchen at the same time too. And maybe I was going through like kitchen withdrawal because I couldn't cook for like months. So I was like, oh, I'll do it. And I just like cooked out of crock pots and like, set up a table in my living room and like cooked all these tacos.
So that was like a fun project for you.
It was. I don't
stressful?
know why I took that on. It actually wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't stressful, and I didn't realize until at the festival that everybody was like, you did, like, wait, so you're co-producing this festival and you're running around like a maniac, but then you also just cooked tacos for 70 people? Like, why would you do that? I was just like, I don't know, I just did it. I mean, it was fine, and I didn't realize it was crazy until everyone told me it was crazy. And I get that a lot, like at shows where people are always like, God, when do you sleep?
Do you like that when people say that?
I don't know. It's kind of funny because the other day I went to a show, and it was right after Red Clay, and my friend Annie was like, do you sleep ever? And it was like three different comics all together, and she was the person that asked it. She was like, how do you keep it all together? And I was like, oh, I don't. I was just sobbing on the way over here. And I was 100% telling the truth. Like, sometimes I get hit these like walls where I can't do it anymore, and I freak out, and then I have my freak out moment, and then I pull it together, and I'm fine. And so I was being truthful, but also kind of kidding, and then everybody just laughed and was like, "That's cool."
Yeah, you're
like that's
talking
what comedians.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, like at Red Clay, and when the trailers the day of, it was like at like 10 a.m. on day 3, and we were all exhausted, and my computer, I opened it up, and the whole screen was completely cracked. Ooh. And they were like, "Oh man, that sucks." And I was like, "It's cool, it's just a computer." And Gilbert was like, "Dude, like one of these days you're gonna snap." And I was like, "Oh, I snapped on the way over here. I was crying in the car." Yeah. And then they were like, "That's cool."
So what's going on during those breakdowns in the car? And it sounds like they happen when you just get kind of overwhelmed.
Just when I get overheated, like it's like, remember the game Excite Bike? I always say Excite Bike Level Red. There's an old Nintendo game called it Excite Bike, and when the bike gets overheated, it's like you press on the button, and then when the bike gets too overheated, it makes this awful noise, and it's like,
Ooh.
And then you have to wait for it to cool down. Like I sometimes just get Excite Bike Level Red overheated, and I just need to scream in my car, or just like go on a walk by myself for an hour. Just I need to do something to like cool down before I like kill people.
I think it's great that you recognize that you're at that level, and that you do take time to calm down and take time for yourself during that time. It'd be great too if you made that a priority, which you do with the dog walking every day.
Yeah.
To do that. Do you ever like go out of your way for yourself and make like big projects for yourself? Like, I'm gonna take myself on a spa retreat or anything like that?
That's so funny because I had my husband and I do couples therapy, and our therapist was like telling me that I needed to go on like a retreat by myself. Just she was prescribing me like at least a 4-day silent retreat, like not like you can't talk, but no cell phones, no whatever, for 4 days by myself. And then when I got home, when we got in the car, my husband was like, "So where do you want to go on a retreat?"
What?
No, dude, like me by myself, like me.
So have you planned that?
No, I haven't. Just because I feel guilty. That's another thing. So I guess it's I have major mom guilt. I feel it all the time.
Oh.
And so I feel guilty taking days to sit in silence when like I already take time away from the kids to do stand up and work. I also have a full-time job, and then I work at night, and so doing stand up. So it's the idea of like taking like days to just do nothing, which is the prescription, you know, but that idea just seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
But
maybe start off small, you know, do one day at a time. Just like start locally. Just do something like, okay, from this time to this time, you take the kids, husband, and I do it. Do you feel like they're not going to get taken care of to their best if you're not there?
No, my husband's like the best dad, and he's so good with the kids. Like, and so I guess I just I feel guilt. Like, for instance, this Saturday, the 3 of them are going camping without me for a Boy Scouts spooky camping trip or whatever, and I have a show, and it's and I can't miss it, and I'm gonna stay behind. So on one hand, it's pretty like it's great that I'm gonna like have the house to myself for the weekend, and you know, and get some alone time. But on the other hand, I like feel like a piece of shit that I'm not gonna be at the camping thing because I have to go. I have this need for people to hear me tell jokes.
Well, let's talk some reframing here.
Yeah. Let's reframe.
So you have what was that one thing you said about missing opportunities? That's a big one.
Yeah.
Me and my friend Laura talk about that a lot. Hi, Laura. You have this need to feel like you need to take on everything. But what is your end goal? Like, what is your end goal? Like, let's just start with comedy. Like, what is your goal?
With comedy, my goal is I want to have a career or full-time position to where I'm not, where I'm doing something creative and doing something that I love. Am I passionate about property management? No.
So you want to be...
Do I do it? Yeah, because it's like, it's a good job. But I would love to be like a writer or work for a show or work on a show or something that's a full-time job with benefits, but is also creative, because I feel like
Are you creating?
I am trying to. So for me, the stand-up is a way for people to see that it's my own platform for people to hear my sense of humor and hear my jokes and hear what I'm doing, because I'm standing on a stage and they have to listen to me. But before stand-up, me as a woman in her 30s that has 2 kids trying to get like a cool writing job, like nobody's just gonna pay attention to me or listen to me.
Are you submitting?
I am. That's a good question. I have not been. I need to.
So I see what's going on here.
I'm so busy that I've not been.
You're not like, you're too scared to do
yeah.
your shit. Prescription for you, Artist Way.
Oh my God. You're like the third person like within the last week that I've spoken to.
So you know what's really funny? People, you're like, I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on opportunities. I'm afraid I'm going to miss out on opportunities. One, you're not connecting what you really want to do to those opportunities, even if you were there in the first place.
You're right.
And then secondly, the things that people are saying, this is an opportunity for you, this is an opportunity for you, you're not jumping on.
Yeah.
So, what's going on?
I guess like I've just taken on so much to the point where like
you're taking
I'm taking it on the wrong things.
You're taking that
Instead
on
of
to
making
avoid.
Tacos, I should.
You're avoiding doing the creative aspect.
You're
So
right.
you book your tacos and your shows and you're doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're not taking the time you need to write your own stuff and do and utilize the platform that you do have. I think it's great that you're doing stand-up and that people are listening to you. But also, when you do get that opportunity, people are going to say, hey, do you write anything? Oh, I don't have anything, even though that's my dream fucking job.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
So
totally
what can
right.
you do to get yourself ready for those opportunities as they come up? Or to even go after those opportunities? Oh, you're nervous.
Oh, am I doing it? Like, you're touching on things. What can I do? I guess I just need to take on less and map out time to, what's so funny is that the way I started doing I've always been obsessed with stand-up. I've always been in love with it, but what pushed me to doing it was when I was like, I'm not doing what I want to do. I want to be writing. I want to be a writer. And I told my husband, every Wednesday nights from here on out, on Wednesday nights, that's my writing time, and I'm going to go to a coffee shop and I'm going to write. After I put the kids to bed, I don't know what I'm going to write, but I'm just going to write.
Fantastic.
And so I did that, and then when I was there, there was one night that I didn't realize I was missing this comedy open mic by like a few minutes, and so then one night I happened to stick around and I saw that they had a comedy open mic night, and I was just like, I could totally do this. Like, these people are not funny. And so
that's what I always tell anybody who wants to try stand-up. I go to an open mic.
Yeah, just see. And so I challenged myself by signing up for an open mic, and then I jumped all into things, and then I immediately started my own show, which was so dumb. But it ended up being a great show. But
now that's an example
like,
of not missing your opportunities.
Yeah,
these are serendipitous things that like naturally guide you.
Yeah,
and you don't have to like force it in, or this is something one of my coaches always says. You have to have the belief, I'm not going to miss my opportunity. What's for me can't be taken by anybody else, and no matter what, I'm not going to miss my opportunity. You have to tell yourself that, because you could drive yourself insane trying to do every single thing.
Yeah.
You got to really pay attention to like what brings me joy, what energizes me, and then what else is what's draining me, what's taking away my joy. I know you know that your jobby job is taking away your joy.
Right.
So it's like, let's figure out a way. So even if you are going to do the production stuff, the production side of thing, like find a way to make money doing it.
Yeah.
At least, because I think you're having more fun doing that and putting that together than doing stuff that's draining you with your jobby job.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely need to because I definitely need to reprioritize some things, because I've definitely been dropping the ball on certain things, because I can't do everything well. And so, last week I picked up, both of my kids had a field trip that day, and I picked them up from school, and there was a mom that was like one of the chaperones, and I was just like, oh, thanks for, chaperoning, that's really cool. And then I go, where did they go again? And she just looked at me like, are you kidding? Like, you don't know where your kids went on a bus outside of their school and took them to today? And I legitimately was like, oh my God, I don't even know where my kids went on their field trip today. I just like paid for it, packed their lunches, sent them to school, and then I was like, I don't even know where they went.
Wow.
Like, that's, like, so I'm dropping the ball
on the things that you care about the most.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing.
It's like another way
like I was crazy.
Another way of not, like, another way of letting yourself down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I need to pull it together.
So if you do, I think what could help too, I know you prescribe the 4-day retreat.
Right.
But if you want to start out really small, even just like a couple hours a week or an hour a week or whatever it is, and you take that time to paint your nails or read a book or write.
Or are you looking at my eyebrows? You're like, do your eyebrows.
No, I didn't even say eyebrows.
I'm joking.
You just wanted to pile something else on your plate, and you're looking for excuses to do it instead of taking
I'll
care of
go
yourself.
do my eyebrows. I know. My roots. I'll do it.
Like, for God's sakes, do something about those eyebrows. That's what this podcast is really about.
It's about my eyebrows.
How did I get a text message? I thought I was on airplane mode.
I don't know. Maybe
Anyway.
You're dropping the ball.
I am dropping the ball.
Maybe you're projecting. No,
100%. 100%. This is a lot about what this is about. It's just me saying things to people that I need to hear myself. And I definitely need to take that time to set aside time to write and do the creative aspects of it. But yes, it's intimidating, and you put so much pressure on doing it right and being good. But the thing is, it's just about making it a regular part of your routine in your day.
Totally.
So, hold on a second. I have a late checkout. I'm in a hotel, guys. Sorry about that. Oh man, I'm keeping this on the podcast because I don't know how to edit it that great. That made me so mad.
Do you want me to talk to him?
No, I don't want you to talk to him. Stop it, Jen.
I'll do it.
This is a good segue. This might be a good time for us to go into the creative aspect of that. But before I do, tell me some of your takeaways from this portion.
From this portion, I mean, I definitely, you're right. I need to set aside time to actually focus on the actual, like, the straight line to the end goal versus me going around all these little loop-de-loops and crazy things and just kind of hoping that
if you want to be
into my lap. Like,
writer,
I need to.
Right.
Yeah, I do. I know. I need to hear it. But yeah, I, like, for sure. And I need to just say no to other things that I don't necessarily need to be doing. And like, I don't know, I feel pressure to tour and to get out there and hit the road and blah blah blah. And like the other night we were talking about, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but the other night the punchline we were talking about, go into this city and that city, have you emailed them and go, and I want to do all those things, but I don't know how to do that on top of what I'm already doing. and I don't know how to, like, festivals are easy because they're like, I know in advance that, like, these are the dates, and I can either bring them with me or don't bring them with me, and it's 4 days and whatever, but it's, trying to book tours is really difficult.
You would be fantastic at that with your logistical skills. I think where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And I think it's scary to go to the next level, and you know this level. You know how to do this part.
Yeah.
But, you know, it'd be a fun challenge for you to figure out the other part of it.
Yeah.
And you have so many resources right, like, everywhere you are. Like, Lace, she does that stuff.
Yeah,
Talk to her.
for sure.
She'd love to help you.
We talk about going on tour together all the time. It's just like...
Well, then pick a place.
I know.
And just start with one date and work around it.
I know.
And it doesn't have to be far away. But if that's what you really, really want to do, don't do the sidestep and wait for someone to ask you to do it, because no one gives a shit about you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, not you specifically.
Yeah, I know.
But as
Christine.
only thing people care about
aware.
are those eyebrows. But seriously, no one's gonna take your career as seriously as you do.
I know, you're totally right.
So
I know.
that's on you.
I know.
Sorry, I asked
hard.
you what you got out of it, and then I just started lecturing you and insulting you. But
yeah,
you need it.
And I've got to refocus. I got to refocus.
All right. So here's your homework besides the artist way, and here's a fun way to do the artist way.
I'm really excited to do the artist way.
I started a group with a couple girls for a weekly accountability thing because I tried to do it by myself, and it was so hard. And so every week we meet, we read a chapter, and then we go over the exercises from the previous week. It's a helpful way to get through
like
the
Bible
book.
school.
Yeah, like Bible school. It's a spiritual tool. It's supposed to be a spiritual guide to creativity, and it makes you do all these things. You have to have a weekly artist date, so it'd kind of be like a double. I don't want to say killing two birds with one stone, because I think that's mean. I don't know why you would even kill one bird. But yeah, you'd be taking care of yourself and working on your creativity. So it's for block creatives.
Yeah.
I think you would really, really benefit from that. So that,
Okay.
and then with that book, if you're doing it, would come the time for you each week to schedule Jen time, right time. And that's your chunk of time to do whatever you want, and then make plans around that. So if you say Wednesday from 12 to 4, this is my time every week, and someone says, hey, do you want to produce a show? Like, and we meet on Wednesdays, you could say, sorry, I have something booked that day, and take it as seriously as you would your job.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
So
this is good homework. I'll do it because I say yes to everything.
I hope that now that when things come up, you can look at them more discriminately and say, is this leading towards my overall goal of being a writer and a working comedian? And if it's not directly leading there,
right,
you can feel good about saying,
how do you turn down shows that look like they're probably not going to do anything for you? You just say your book.
You know what? Jackie and Lori, I got this from Jackie and Lori's podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Jackie says you give them a high price, a price that you don't think that they're going to pay. And then you go from there. You can say, how much is this gig? And then you determine how much you're willing to do whatever for. And if it's not fitting in there, it's totally fine to be like, I'm sorry, I'm broke. I need a paid job.
Yeah.
And they should totally understand. And if they don't, who cares? It's not a gig that's going to do anything for you anyway.
I know. That's the thing. It's like I have a hard time with...
Because comics have this thing. It's like, you get on stage no matter what.
Yeah.
You take that stage time. It's like this weird indoctrination or whatever. And it's good to an extent, especially when you're first starting out. But also, you need to know what works best for you. What works best for me is not going to work best for you. Or the open mic dude that's like 21 years old living in his car. You know, you guys have different lifestyles and different priorities, so you can't put yourself up against someone like that.
Yeah, there's like a pressure to, like, and bragging rights that comes with like, oh, I drove 4 hours to do a gig and then for $20 and then drove 4 hours back. It's like, that's just bad math. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's, but we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, got a show in Charlotte tonight.
If you do take something like that, then try to get a higher paying gig around that.
Yeah.
Or do that one and then say, hey, when I'm passing through, I'd love to do it, but otherwise I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because I know that I started getting really pissed and resentful of going to those shows, and I was like, what's going on? And I'd rather not be pissed off about doing something I love to do because it's confusing.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah. I'm always shocked at the people that will ask you, and like it drives me crazy when people go, "Are you free this day?"
It's like,
and
for
then
what?
I know, and they don't tell you what for, and then I'll say yes, I am, and then they'll go, "Great, do you want to drive to Bumble F, North Carolina, and and then they'll be like, it doesn't pay anything. And I'm like, why would you ask me to, like, no, I don't want to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, a trick I learned for when people are like, what are you doing this day? Or are you free this day? I just say, what's up?
Yeah.
Say, for what?
Up? For what? Yeah.
For what? It depends. Because, you know what? You have to value your time. Time is money.
You're right.
And that's time you could be using to write.
Yeah.
And submit a packet or do whatever.
Totally.
Instead of being resentful, driving and like wearing yourself down and spreading yourself too thin.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about them knocking on the door.
I'm gonna talk.
No, you're not.
I am.
I'll talk.
I'm gonna fill out a
comment
card.
I have 30 more minutes
about them knocking.
Okay, so this concludes the therapy portion. Homework, artist's way, block a gen time each week.
Boom.
No matter how much time it is.
I will do it. I will, because I'm a people pleaser.
I'm going to check in on you.
To please you,
no.
Christine.
No, okay, well, I won't check on you. Oh, God, this is hard. This is hard. Okay, we will be back and learn about Jen's creative process when we come back to A Little Advice. Hi, thank you for listening to A Little Advice podcast. If you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a share, leave a review, and rate us 5 stars. If you want to see me doing stand-up comedy live, go on over to my website, christinelittle.net, and look for upcoming show dates. On November 1st, Thursday, I will be performing at the Addison Lounge in the Rampart Casino in Las Vegas. Come by and say hi. I'll be with the hilarious Sophia Alexandra. Come on over. And we are back several moments later with Jen O'Neill Smith. Jen, let me ask you, okay? Let me do this. What is your creative process like?
My creative process is, and it should be better, but mine is, like I said, those the hour-long morning walks with my dog in silence. That's when like things just come to me, and I don't listen to anything. Like it's just in silence, and so that's when ideas pop into my head, or I have like fake conversations in my head with people. You know, like you fight with people in the shower.
Yeah. It's something that I always feel like I'm the only person that does it.
No, oh my God, I am so good at reading people in the shower. I will tear their whole life up. Me in that bathroom wall. And it's like, so I do that when I'm walking, and then I'll have like kind of conversations with myself in my head as I'm walking, and then when I get back, I have like a pretty good idea of something I want to try that night, and then I'll write it down and make notes, and then I'll like work that out on stage that night or whatever.
That's amazing.
So that's my process.
I love hearing people's process.
Yeah.
I know another comic I had on here, he did a walking thing too, but he'd listened to stand up before, and then he'd go and walk around with his earbuds in so he could like say bits that he's working on like out loud, so people don't think he's crazy. It looks like he's on his phone.
He's talking on his phone.
Yeah. So there's something about walking
or
doing like showers like are known for coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
That's really in the shower.
The best part about these new like hands-free sets in the car is because you can legit just talk to yourself while you're driving and do your set in the car, and nobody thinks you're crazy because they just think you're talking.
What about when you scream?
Oh, then they just think you're mad at whoever's. I mean,
I dance
in the car.
Oh yeah,
that's
I crush it. Have a concert in there.
I love seeing people dancing in the car. Like
it's
really,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy.
Anyway, okay. We're going to get kicked out of here, and I'm so mad about it. But
I'm
whatever.
Talk to him. I'm going to talk
No,
to him.
don't. Let me talk to him.
I'll talk
Let
to
me
him.
talk to him.
Talk to him like I talk to people in my shower.
Ooh, you're going to go shower on him?
I'm like, what do you think just happened here,
Ooh.
guy?
Ooh.
Things like that. I'm so mean.
You have
in the
so
shower.
much aggression.
Oh my god,
You're so sweet.
I'm so nice, but then in the shower, I'm so mean.
Your husband's like,
Are you
Hi,
okay?
Nina. Are you okay, Heather? Are you mad at me?
Who's in there?
Okay, next question. Before your biggest success in your career or life, maybe it was with your kids. I don't know. It doesn't have to be. So, but what was a mental shift you had, if any, right before that happened?
My biggest success in well, I got to do this really amazing show, which was at. Here's the thing. Okay, it's kind of I haven't read Artist Way, but we were just
Talking about synchronicity.
how it kind of brings things to you, and I was doing a lot of it's like a Course in Miracles, which is like, you know, bringing things to you or whatever. And I was envisioning being on stage, to not in anything in particular. It wasn't a particular place. It was just a place that had a huge audience, just like an arena type audience.
Wow.
And I just envisioned it, and I just thought on that for, you know, however amount of time. And then I just so happened to, and I wouldn't have had this opportunity had it been that I am a property manager.
Wow.
But the Laughing Skull does these shows with Humor Wins, it's called, but they do this thing where they go do Atlanta's Funniest Blank. And they did a show that was, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" When I saw the flyer for
What was it?
It was called Atlanta's Funniest Apartment Professional, and I'm like,
What?
"This is a thing!" And it's at the Fox Theater. And so I immediately called Ian, who's a good friend of mine, Ian Aber, who works for Marshall and does all that stuff. And I was like, if I'm not a part of this show, I'm gonna freak out, because how many other apartment professionals are there that
so
are comedians?
Random.
And so they were like, "Oh yeah, we forgot that's what you do." And so they hired me to help write jokes for the competing comedians. And then they also hired me to do a guest spot on the show. But the great part was that it was at the Fox Theater, so I got to perform at the Fox Theater for like, I think there was like 300 or 400 people there.
Wow.
And it was the most amazing feeling, because I'm telling jokes about property management, which like you would think that nobody gives a shit about, but it's in a room full of people all in that profession, and it just felt so cathartic and amazing at the same time to be performing to that many people that were so on board with what I was saying and feeling what I'm feeling, and you know, like, you know, they know the pain and the struggle of property management. So it was the coolest thing, and it was something that I would never in a million years think would even exist. You know,
that is so
Isn't that
amazing.
crazy? But I really truly believe that if you envision things and you will them, then they do
I
happen.
love that story, because of that you really, because I've tried to envision a lot of stuff. It doesn't, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what, but that's tough. So the fact that you had that opportunity, man, I wonder if there's like a building manager like market you could get into. If there's like a corporation and you could hit them up and just do comedy shows for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're definitely I know that there are people. So since then, I've judged all of the other ones. Like Marshall will have me on as a judge to judge the competing comics, and we've done Atlanta's advertising executive or advertising person or whatever, and Atlanta's funniest lawyer, Atlanta's funniest. What else do we? I feel like we've done like 5 of them, but
Atlanta's funniest dog catcher.
Oh, accountant, and the accountants. Apparently, there's another group that's been doing accountants for a long time, and they make and then all these people that I know that are comics like, oh yeah, I've done that job, I made a ton of money. And so there is a secret, like,
I love that. We gotta talk. I want to learn more about that. That sounds crazy. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. You really can, like, find a way to. I mean, there's lots of different corporate gigs and stuff that will pay a lot of money to hear you talk about accounting, I guess.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up because
I'm about to get kicked
I'm gonna get kicked out, and I want to pee before I leave. I don't pee as fast as you can.
And you also want to leave on your terms.
I want to
that
leave
guy's
on my
not going to tell
terms.
you when to leave. I'm going to talk to him.
Talk to him in the shower.
I'm going to talk to him.
What does this look like to you?
What did
you say?
What do you think just happened here?
Wow.
I'm going to get his card and be like, this is coming home with me in the shower.
It's funny.
See you in the shower.
Because you do visualize a lot, but it's
Yeah.
like fights. So
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like manifesting fights.
I know, I make up fights that are like, I will like think that this could be a fight that this person's gonna pick with me for some reason, and then I will hash it out in the shower with them already, and then they're not even thinking that way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I pick fights with myself and other people.
You're so defensive.
I
and you're
am.
like, oh no, that's fine. And you're like, what?
Yeah, like, I can't wait to get to my kid's school for someone to tell me that I'm a bad parent. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah? Well, blah, blah, Judy, nice shoes. Or, you know what I mean?
Okay, where can people find you?
This weekend I will be at the DeForest Center.
This will probably come. It'll come out next Monday.
Next Monday. Okay. Then I will be. Oh God. Oh, Resurgence Fest, I think, is around that weekend, which will be at the Highland Inn Ballroom.
In Atlanta?
Produced by Joe Pettis. Yeah, here in Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't even hit up Joe while I was here. Okay.
Oh, you should have.
I know.
Oh, you should have.
I should have.
You
But
should
where
have.
can people find you online?
Online on JenO'NeillSmith.com or Facebook or Instagram. They're all Jen O'Neill Smith. Twitter, Jen O'Neill Smith. I don't have any funny, like,
I don't either.
things.
It's okay.
I'm just Jen O'Neill Smith.
That's not enough.
It's not
I'm
enough.
just kidding. Well, you guys, please look up Jen. Tell her hi. Give her advice if you want.
Thanks
And
for having me. This was
thanks
great.
for coming. This was really interesting. I feel like this was good for me to hear too. Like what you're going through. I think a lot of people can relate. So
I mean, I know I look like I have everything together all the time.
I
I'm
mean,
just like the perfect comedian, wife, and mother. But
is that on your business card?
I'm not. Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
I don't even have a business card. That sounds
Comedian,
like...
wife, mother, property manager. Learn about it. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening. Appreciate it. Please rate, subscribe, leave a review. I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. And join our Facebook group, A Little Advice Podcast. Just search it on Facebook. It's been great having you guys listen to this. I gotta go. Thank you. Bye.